Welcome back to the RCGP World Series. This is it. This is the climax of qualifying. Round 4 qualifying race about to go out any minute.
It's the last qualifying race of the first season of RCGP.
The inaugural season of RCGP has been fantastic. Some people didn't think we'd make the first race. We made the first season, and so proud we are too.
Absolutely, it's fantastic, and it's got better and better and better and better and better and better and better.
Exponentially better.
Bettery.
Yes, it has. And but, however, the thing that irks sometimes, we can get amazing racing if it's not for annoying technical little problems, little freak accidents that take the two best, fastest drivers apart from each other. Yes. Putting Ongaro through and Ronefalk out early because Ronefalk luck strikes again.
Well, yes, we had lots of good luck yesterday, and it's not all over yet.
It's not all over yet. Let's take a look at qualifying race 3. A little quick recap for you.
And they're off and away, and it's a interesting. Who's going to get it? Is it quad green? No, it wasn't. It was a complete carnage, and once again, Ongaro's made a great start. So but Ronefalk's made a great start as well, and Evan Vale's into second. So it's Ronefalk from Vale, from Ongaro, and actually Ronefalk just made Ronefalk made a bit of a mistake, and in doing that, he got sat on by, and it's Ronefalk. Ronefalk's a problem. Ronefalk's got a problem. So Ronefalk is out. Ogden looking to try and get through past Canas, because it's interesting that just punted and waited. And it's another lap with Ogden right behind. Ogden to a bad bounce there, and he's lost a huge amount of time just by doing a kind of a squirrely out of shape moment. Ogden's going to be in trouble because he's going to drop into third. So Canas has taken, just rolled it. Canas takes second, and just has to do the wall of death and the pro line symbol, and that's it. And Ongaro takes it. So sneakily running away before we had a chance to him, Juan Carlos Canas. Good result in the last one.
Yeah, car was good. I'm feeling better than yesterday, but it's difficult to have a good lap time and not do mistake. It's difficult here, but.
And how are you thinking it's going to go in the 1 hour final? Is that going to be better than these short races, or the 1 hour final will be even more difficult?
I think I will be better in 1 hour final, but it's in the night, cold, will be difficult.
Thank you, Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos from Spain, where it used to be warm. And now we'll have a quick word with David. Obvious question, what went wrong?
I hit the pipe there. I had to roll the double. Ongaro was in the air. Not much he could do. It just landed on my car, and somehow the spring that retains the pipe on the engine snapped, and it went into my driveline. Yeah, that's just my luck.
It's obvious that you've gone wrong in the drive shaft. I couldn't work out I was kind of postulating perhaps you'd blown a bearing or something during the accident.
Yeah, I thought either the drive shaft popped out or a rock or something got in there and blocked it. But yeah, the spring went like this long, like 2 feet long, so it went into the driveline and it completely blocked it. So
you've got the pace. You're not going to be on pole, but it doesn't matter so much for this race, is it?
No, for sure not. I mean, that one I was starting back row on the left, and I was first after the first lap. So, it's all about that first 2 corners, and if you can make those clean, you'll be good.
Now, David here has been in the USA for a couple of weeks because you went up to New York for your HB race days. Very nicely, you filmed some stuff and you talked to us about it. Let's see David recorded talking about his New York race days. Dave Ronefalk, you look very fresh because you haven't got jet lag because you've been here for a while. You're at the HB racing days. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, it was a nice event. We were able to make it happen. Let's say we had a successful event in Europe earlier this year, and we wanted to do the same thing out here in the US. We have a lot of customers out here, so wanted to make sure everyone is happy with the cars and everything, and just basically we have never been on the East Coast, so it was also nice for us to go on the East Coast and meet those people out there that don't always have the chance to come out here west where we normally go. So yeah, it was just a nice relaxing weekend, meeting some customers and having a great time at Trains and Ladies Hobbies.
So what are the key elements? Is it just like a chat and a setup, or is it a race as well?
It was a race as well. I mean, it was me, Cole, Spencer Hackett was there. He was fast, but I mean, mainly just to hang out with the people, you know, answer questions. We had a bunch of questions throughout the weekend, and that is the reason why we went there, and also to see that everyone is happy with the car, because obviously it's not only our goal is not only to make it fast for us pro drivers, but to also have an easy car to drive for the hobby driver, which is even more important because that's how we sell cars. So yeah, it was just a nice relaxing weekend, but obviously I wanted to be Cole, and I made it happen.
So obviously the guys are asking you questions. You get asked different questions by Americans, you get asked by Europeans?
A little bit. I think setup wise it's just a little bit different because of the tracks. I mean, here in US you have a lot more jumps, so you would have to change a few things to make the car the best for that kind of a track, whereas in Europe you have more high-speed corners basically, so the setup has to be a little bit different, so that's why the questions could differ as well, but mainly you get questions about your driving techniques, stuff like that, so I would say they're pretty similar overall.
Great initiative by HB, and certainly Cole and David have been doing particularly well, but they're not particularly high up on the grid this time round. So to read us through the grid is the man soon to be 40 years of age. It's Matt McCallum.
That's correct, and I'm still doing this for a living. David Ronnefalk will be on pole. We've just heard from him, followed by Evan Vale, who will be in position number 2. Patrick Hoffer in position number 3. Lee Martin will be in position number 4, 5th on the grid. Joseph Quagrain, followed by his colleague Max Mort on number 6. That's the first layer of that starting gate, and the second layer, Carl McBride in 7th, Ryan Cavallari in 8th, Ryan Lutz in 9th, Cole Ogden in 10th. 11th on the grid will be Juan Carlos Canas, and in 12th, Davide Ongaro, bringing up the rear. And as my colleague, soon to be 60 years of age, returns back to the commentary booth, it gives me great pleasure to hand over to Old Man Damon.
I have experience and gravitas that you can only wish for. But the gravitas is hard to do. I've just been photographed by several people basically mucking about in front of the camera. I think the gravitas might be lost at this point. Okay, so getting into the final of the qualifiers. Matt's ready through the grid. Ronnefalk will be effectively on pole, but it's not really pole because it's just he gets his choice of starting position on the front row of the gate start. And then behind him, or next to him, will be Evan Vale, Patrick Hoffer, Lee Martin, JQ and Max Mort. The second row, which has been quite positive really, to be honest, will be McBride, Cavallari, Lutz, Ogden, Canas and Ongara. They call the cars in. And it's a lovely sunny day, but the sun is beginning to set. The shadows are lengthening. It's some of the sun is shining, coming in from behind, effectively right behind the driver's rostrum, so into the face of the lens of the camera at the far side. But our side camera, run by exciting camera file Zach Fenning, is having none of those issues. So they're out, they go. Ronnefalk comes out. And Adrien Berton puts the car down. He's choosing outside. Oh no, is he? He's choosing the outside of the front row. Evan Vale next to him. The inside is being more ignored as time has gone on. Though, looks like the Mort car has gone into the inside. Could actually be. And now the second row goes in. The gate start is loaded. This is a bit like when they load the horses in for a flat horse race, and it's all like, well, they come in, will they stay going? Until the lads have to go away, get someone who's a bit reticent to go in. So Evelyn waves the 15-second board, spins it round to 5. They're ready to go, and they're off, and it's a relatively, it's one of the cleanest starts so far, I think. And into the lead has gone, I think that's Lee Martin, and it's from Ronefalk. So Martin leads from Ronefalk, from Evan Vale, from Ogden, and then it is behind that, it looks like it is McBride. So Ronefalk getting a chance. He's got Lee Martin from Infinity ahead of him. And behind him, Evan Vale. Not quite sure. So Ongara seems to be moving through to about 6th on his first run. So going wide there, and Ronefalk immediately gets up and into the lead past Martin. Martin has Evan Vale, and Ogden just sprinted past Evan Vale like he wasn't there. They've dropped back to Martin, because we'll just see what happens. It looks very much like the other HB driver into getting a kerfuffle really with Evan Vale. But it's now going to be a case of whether Ogden can come forward and try and get past Martin as well. So the race begins to calm down now, with Ronefalk leading, Martin on camera here in 2nd place, and Ogden, who's just trying to force his way through as they go across the ridge and drop down past the whole shot jump. And they'll turn up into the hot race double before they. That wasn't the track. And he's lost the place. So I wasn't quite sure what happened there. He got away with that in a poor jump. So let's move forward to Ogden, who now is going to try and chase down his teammate. So quite a long way behind actually already, Ronefalk. So Ronefalk's got a 2.06 lead over Ogden. Martin made a slight move. Canas has moved through as well. So Canas now running in 4th. Behind Canas you have Cavalieri, and behind Cavalieri you have Ongaro. But on the front, in 2nd place on camera, is the Ogden car, who's actually been not dropping Martin in any way whatsoever. So Martin now goes across the wall of death, and Ogden went very wide. Very noticeably, the HB car's using a very high wing mount here. They look almost like the strange 1968 Formula 1 car. Those massive pylon wings that got banned after a unfortunate tragedy in Montjuic Park in Barcelona. But they were on the strands miles high to try and get them out of the direct airflow. Perhaps they weren't the plans 2021. Who knows? Anyway, so Martin now under more pressure. So let's drop back to Martin. He's under pressure from Canas as they battle for 3rd place. Canas in the all-white shell. He's not border-painted shell. He's got a rattle can, or 1 can for Juan Carlos. Oh, he's getting very close there. Interesting, Ongaro not making any major forward progress this time. He's actually behind Lutz and McBride, but I don't think that's going to take him off pole, because he hasn't got any bad runs. Oh, and Martin's fallen over, and that's just 2 spaces. That's what happened there. Comes in, too much angle, flat chats it. Just bad luck there. I mean, he could have gone either way. It went the wrong way, and 2 people went past him, one of which was Canas, and one of which was McBride. Oh, no, it's Cavalieri, sorry, not McBride. So, Ronefalk now leading by 4 seconds. With Canas, who's running in 3rd and trying to the white car, trying to catch up Ogden. And it's all spread out a bit as we are now running lap 5 into lap 6. So, currently with Canas going down the main straight, the all-white, well, so the all-white car's got stickers as he moves up to Thunder Rally. He's actually, I think, slightly gaining on Ogden, but this has been a very spread-out race, with Ronefalk getting the whole shot after the problems he's explained to us before of an unfortunate landing. Mongaro's in 10th and really having a quite bad time. Hoffer is last, Vale is 11th. And the race itself. Drop back to the next car, which is Cavalieri, the 24 car, the red and the yellow machine. That's got, because Martin is also trying to see if he can do something about him. But we haven't seen much of Cavalieri with the S-Works, the obviously multiple electric world champion, and S-Works is US superstar. 4 world championships Cavalieri's won over the course of a number of years. He won his first one, I think, in 2005. So he's been winning them for goodness knows how long. This is Cavalieri. This works. 8 laps of 12 gone. A very spread out situation we have in this particular race. Though our leader lost a couple of seconds of that lead in the last lap. Last 2 laps, I say. Ronnefauk still leads 2.5 seconds ahead of Cole Ogden, who's 2.5 seconds ahead of Juan Carlos Canas, who's 4 seconds ahead of Ryan Cavalieri, who's a second and a half ahead of Lee Martin. Lee Martin's just ahead of his teammate Carl McBride. McBride's actually got past Martin now. Looks like he's going to start having a go, and you'll see him in the back of the shot, this shot of Cavalieri in this battle for 4th and 5th. There is McBride, who's made big steps. McBride's got a good race car, which will both serve him well for the main final. Because obviously the kerfuffle and the chaos at the front. Let's move forward to Canas and Ogden, who are right together now, fighting for 2nd and 3rd at the bottom of the track and going over the hot race double. Ogden now coming over the pole of doom, and he almost got hit there, almost got lost all his momentum. So it's actually Ogden who's lost some time, and now they are scuffling together, and Canas nips through for 2nd. Oh, Ogden tries to get it back again, but Canas nipped through for 2nd there. Ogden had a mistake earlier, and he's now, given the fact that we now have a lead of 6 seconds. Oh, and he's back up the inside again. So it's a snap back, snap back, snap back. In we go every single time. And let's see Ogden go running up the hill, full pelt, sketchy top, jumped it, totally clean round the Thunder Rally hairpin. Now, can he hold it for another lap and a half? Is the real question. He's just gapping slightly, Canas. But Ogden's got some real speed. Obviously, keeping on the island has been an issue for all these drivers. Ongaro is still in 9th place, which is a very uncharacteristic place for the Italian. Ronnefauk has started his last lap, so let's see if we can pick up David Ronnefauk. He is just about at the top of the track now, about to go over the whole shot jump and come down and climb over the double. So Ronnefauk now into the pole jump. There he goes, into the difficult quad. He's going to turn on himself over the gate jump for the last time in qualifying for RCGP this season, and comes over the line. And Ronnefauk takes it. Ogden will be 2nd after a scare. Canas will be 3rd. Behind them, it looks like McBride, who's going to be 4th. And not sure about the rest of the position, because Martin now taking 5th. It's faded by Cavalieri to 6th as the rest of them come in. So that is that one, and with the cars all still fitting, time to go over to young Mr. James Parry for the full results.
I don't know about young, but definitely James Parry. Thank you, Nick. Let's go through the official results one more time. In position number 1 was David Ronnefauk. 2nd place was taken by Cole Ogden, and in 3rd, Juan Carlos Canas. Carl McBride taking position number 4, 5 Lee Martin, 6 Ryan Cavalieri, with Ryan Lutz taking position 7. Position number 8, David Ongaro, 9 Joseph Quagrain, position 10 Evan Vale, 11 was Patrick Hoffer, and in position number 12 was Max Mort. I believe Nick is ready in the interview area.
I am.
To you.
And I'm with David Ronnefauk. Well, that was quite simple after all, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, you get the good start, and then it's pretty much up to yourself. And was able to get out in front in the first lap, and could control the race from there.
So, I mean, what does this mean for the final? I mean, let's say you don't get a good start, can you still come through?
Oh, for sure. I think I have some good speed out there. So as long as I just put it together and trying to stay out of trouble with crashes in front of me or stuff like that on the first couple of laps, if it happens so that I'm going to be towards the back in the start, I just have to be patient and wait for a gap or wait for a mistake for the guys in front to get through and not overdo it.
Thank you, David. And our next victim is your teammate, Cole Ogden. Come on, Cole. Now, I've watched the last couple of races. There appears to be a little bit of afters, as we say, between you and Juan Carlos Canas.
Yeah, he don't want none, dude. I mean, he tried to stick it in there with him, and I was definitely going to give it back a little harder, but he kind of messed up there, and I pulled away. Hey, if he wants it, he can come get it, but he don't want none.
That's a call to arms, really. So it's a battle. It's back to the American-Spanish Wars.
Yeah, right. this is just another one, I guess, but hopefully he's not in it.
Well, that's true, yeah. So I think you're probably going to be in qualifying, probably second, we would think. Though actually, Ongara had a terrible run as well, but I think you'll be second on the grid, second on the whole shot. Where are you going to go for?
Play it safe, man. Play it safe. It's a long race, you know. I'm going to hold it together, keep it on all fours, and do what I do best, is, you know, drive.
Thanks, Carl. So getting ready with the HB guys, finishing qualifying for the RCGP Series in fine fettle before we start the hour-long final, which is due to go off in about an hour and 35 minutes. We have coming up next the last chance qualifier for an RC2, but for that is our final qualifier of season 2019 for RCGP. We've still got an hour final to go, and we'll see you with that in just a few minutes. See you then.